Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Christian, random person offline. So yeah, looking at his team on the right there, looks to be very strong, well balanced, pretty original looking team there. So looking at my team, it is the same one that I used in the last game. So what do I want to lead with in this one? I think we're going to go with the Greninja, actually. And we'll see how that works out. All right. So, it looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Gardevoir, which is not bad, I guess, with our Greninja lead. So, he is going to get the Trace to copy our Protean, which is kind of bad news. I think what we want to do right out of the gate here is... how do we want to play this? I don't know if we want to stay in on this or not, because I don't think we want to take a big shot with the Greninja. I think we're going to just switch to the Tinkaton right away. I think that's probably the safest play we can make right now. So we'll bring that thing in and see where that leads us, as we are going to get the Mold Breaker coming into play. This thing is going to go for a Thunderbolt, so Protean going to change it to an Electric type. And that is going to do some pretty solid damage to us, taking us down by about half. We do get some HP back with the leftovers, which is nice. So this turn, I think what we want to do here is, I think we're actually, I don't know if they could stay in, but I think we're actually just going to go for a knockoff here, as they do stay in and go for a Mystical Fire, and that's going to take us all the way down to a quarter HP. It does cut our special attack, doesn't really matter since we're purely physical. We go for the knockoff in return, and that's going to get rid of this thing's Focus Sash, which is something, and then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So unfortunately, doesn't look like we can take another attack from this thing. But at the same time, there's not a whole lot else we can do, so we're just going to click Bulldoze here, but they're just going to outspeed us, and the next Thunderbolt is going to be enough to finish our Tinkaton off and knock us down to 5. So that is unfortunate, but kind of is what it is. We do still have options for this thing, and I think our best bet at this point is going to be to go ahead and come back in with the Greninja. So we know this thing is not choice in any way, because we got rid of the Focus Sash, so I think we're just going to go straight for a Dark Pulse here. They're actually going to go for the switch, trying to save the Gardevoir for later, and they're going to go ahead and come in with the Gastrodon, predicting the water move, no doubt. So it's a good thing we did go for the Dark Pulse. Protean is going to change us to a Dark type. Max Special Attack, Choice Specs. It is going to take this thing down by nearly half, which is great damage. I don't know if we want to... I feel like this thing probably doesn't have a ton to hit us with. So I feel like we are just going to stay in here and Dark Pulse again to see if we can get rid of this thing. Second Dark Pulse incoming. It is not quite enough to take this thing out. It lives with like 1 HP, which is very unfortunate. It is going to get some HP back with a Citrus Berry, and then it's going to go for an Icy Wind, which is interesting. So that's going to do a little bit of chip damage to us and cut our speed. That's okay. We should still be faster than this thing, so we're just going to stay in and Dark Pulse one more time. Indeed, we are still faster, and the next Dark Pulse is going to get rid of that Gastrodon, and that is going to knock him down to 5. So that is definitely good for us, so we'll see what he wants to bring in response. And it is going to be the Grimmsnarl. So we definitely can't stay in on this matchup, being Choice Specs locked into Dark Pulse, so we're definitely going to get out of here. And I think we don't really have the best answers in the world for this thing, but I think our best course of action here, how do we want to play this with the I think we're going to actually take this chance to go into the Poltegeist. So we're going to see if we can get something going here with the Poltegeist. So we're going to come in with that. And this thing is going to go for a Spirit Break. So that's not good, actually. That's going to take us down by about exactly half and cut our special attack. It is going to trip our weak armor to increase our speed and decrease our defense. White Herb is going to activate, and I'm not sure what stat actually got put back here. So let's see, how can we check that? That's a good question. Yeah, so we just have our speed increased right now. We have nothing else. So, how do we want to play this? So it actually did wipe out both of our stat decreases, which is nice. How do we want to play this, though? That is the real question. I feel like to try and get anything going here, we have to go for a Shell Smash and probably hope that they are faster or that they don't attack us. So I think that's what we're going to do here, as unfortunately we do end up being faster than the Grimmsnarl, so that's bad news. We are going to drop our defenses here, and that is going to increase our attack, special attack, and speed, but unfortunately without the White Herb our defenses are going to remain lowered. This thing is going to go for a Dark Pulse, and after our stat drops, we are not going to survive that, so that's very unfortunate. That's going to get rid of the Poltegeist, and that's going to knock us down to 4. So that's definitely bad news for us. I think the best course of action at this point is going to be, how do we want to handle this thing? This offensive Grimmsnarl is definitely giving us some trouble here. I think we're going to... How do we want to play this? I think the best course of action is probably just to come back in with the Greninja. That's probably our best course of action, so that's what we're going to do. And I think the best thing we can do here at this point is to just go ahead and fire off a Choice Spec Surf at this thing, so that's what we're going to do. We do outspeed, of course. Protean going to change us into a Water-type mono, and the Choice Spec Surf is not quite enough to get rid of this thing, as it goes for a Spirit Break in return. We can survive that with about a third of our HP. It does drop our special attack as well, which is unfortunate, and then this thing is going to get some HP back with leftovers. However, based on the damage output of the first one, I think the second Surf should definitely take this thing out, so that's exactly what we're going to go for here, as they stay in and go now are actually going to go for the Light Screen to increase their special defense for several turns as we go for the Surf, and it is still enough, fortunately, to get rid of that Grimmsnarl, and that's going to knock them down to 4. So, interesting turn of events there, but we do come out on top with the Greninja, but now they're going to go ahead and switch in the Gardevoir, which is a problem. Going to trace our Protean once again, and now we're in a bit of a situation here, because at -1 special attack and with the Light Screen up, I don't think there's any way that our Greninja can take this thing out this turn, and we do want to save the Greninja, so I think our best bet here is to switch, and I think we're going to have to switch into the Arboliva. I think that's our best bet here, so we're going to go ahead and try to save the Greninja for later. And we are going to switch in the Arboliva, as this thing is going to go for a Moonblast this time. Protean going to change it to Pure Fairy type. Moonblast incoming. Takes us down by about exactly half, and they do get the special attack drop, which is really unfortunate, as we do get the Seed Sower to go ahead and set the grassy terrain on the battlefield. We're both going to get some HP back from the grassy terrain, and then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So we're in kind of a bad position right now, actually. I think the best thing we can probably do, because unfortunately, with the Light Screen still up, we're kind of in a bad position. This thing is a Pure Fairy type right now, so I think the best course of action here is going to be to pull a double switch on this thing, and to double back into the Talonflame, because they're probably going to go for the fire move here, And if they go for the fire or the fairy move, we can take it well with the Talonflame, so we're just going to do that. So Talonflame incoming. They are going to go for the Mystical Fire, which is going to do next to nothing to us. It does cut our special attack, but it doesn't matter, because we are purely physical, obviously, and they get some HP back from the terrain. So I think the best thing we can do here is just go ahead and go for the Brave Bird. We should be outspeeding them since we're max speed, and indeed we do. Brave Bird incoming, max attack, choice band. That is going to be enough to get rid of that Gardevoir and knock him down to 3, as we do take some recoil damage there. So definitely good to see the Gardevoir out of the way, as that thing definitely was trouble, especially with copying our Protean. But now he is going to go ahead and come in with the Garchomp. So that is another potentially big problem on our hands here. I am not sure how I want to play this exactly, but I think, how do we want to play this? I think we probably just switch to the Arboliva, because we kind of want to conserve the Talonflame. So we're going to actually just switch back to the Arboliva here, trying to conserve the Talonflame for later. So there it is. And he is going to go for the Dragon Claw. So that is going to take us all the way down to 30 HP in the red. We do survive, and then we get some HP back with the leftovers and the grassy terrain there. But unfortunately, the light screen is going to wear off this turn, which is actually fortunate. But unfortunately, we definitely can't take another attack from this thing. So we're going to try to Strength Sap, but we're just going to get taken out with a Dragon Claw here, which is unfortunate, but not much we can do about that. So the grassy terrain is going to go away this turn. That's going to knock us down to 3. So we're in a bit of a pickle here. I think the best possible course of action here is to just come in with the Greninja, and I think we just have to hope that they're not Scarf, which is not super common, but it could be. And we're going to hope we can outspeed this thing and take it out with an Ice Beam. As we do outspeed, thankfully, we're going to go for the Ice Beam. Protean going to change us to an Ice type, and that is definitely going to be enough to one-shot that Garchomp outright and knock him down to 2. So potential crisis averted there once again. Seems like we've been dodging potential crises left and right with this game, but that is going to knock him down to 2, which is incredible. Now, going to go ahead and come in with the Hawlucha, going to get the Mold Breaker coming into play. So this is going to be an interesting situation because we do naturally outspeed the Hawlucha. However, if they are speed invested, I believe if they are max speed investment, they will outspeed us. So unfortunately, we don't really have anything to switch into this thing right now, so we really have to just stay in here and roll the dice with the Greninja as we just go for the Ice Beam here. They are actually going to go ahead and pop their Terra, and they're going to go ahead and Terrastalize here into a Steel type. Okay, so that's interesting. So going to go Terra Steel Hawlucha, and we do outspeed them. Going to hit them with an Ice Beam, max special attack, choice specs. Going to take this thing down to about a 1/3 HP, but unfortunately they do survive, go for an Iron Head, and that is going to be enough to take our Greninja out and drop us down to 2 Pokemon here. So that is definitely bad news. So now we have to decide how we want to play this, and I think our best bet at this point for taking on the Hawlucha is going to be our Sudowoodo. So we're going to come in with that, and I think the best course of action we can do here, they have the Spiritomb and the Hawlucha left, so I think our best course of action here is to actually pop our own Terra, Terrastalizing into a pure ground type, and then take this thing out with an Earthquake. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to Terrastalize the Sudowoodo into a pure ground type here, which is going to let us lose our weaknesses to both fighting and steel, which is incredible. And they are definitely going to outspeed us. They're going to go for the Iron Head. It is Terra boosted, but we are max HP, and Sudowoodo is bulky on the physical side, so we take that very well. Go for the Earthquake in return. It is now Terra boosted, and that is definitely going to be enough at max attack to finish that Hawlucha off from that range and drop him down to just 1 Pokemon. So that is a great turn of events for us, as then we are going to get some HP back with our leftovers. So His last Pokemon here is going to be that Spiritomb, so he's going to come in with that. And so pressure is going to come into play here, but I think the best course of action, no point in switching now, is just to go ahead and we could go, I think we're just going to play it safe and go Earthquake because we don't want to miss a Head Smash. This thing actually does outspeed us and goes for a Shadow Ball, which is going to do some chip damage, knocking us below half, and it gets the special defense drop, which is really unfortunate. We are going to go for an Earthquake in return, and it is going to take this thing down by about a little more than half, which is great, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So, unfortunately, after that special defense drop, I don't think we can take another attack from this thing. So I think the best course of action here is just to stay in and Sucker Punch. So that's what we're going to do. As we do get the Sucker Punch on this thing, it's not quite enough to take it out, as he does go for another Shadow Ball here. And fortunately, we actually do survive, to my surprise. Sudowoodo hanging on with 2 HP in the red, which is incredible. We get some HP back from the leftovers. That's going to let us go for another Sucker Punch, but he's actually packing Sucker Punch of his own to go ahead and take our Sudowoodo out and knock us down to 1. So that is a crazy turn of events right there, as now it is down to the wire here. We both have just one Pokemon left in the game. So we're going to come in with our last Pokemon. That is the Talonflame. And so the only thing we can do here is just go for an attack. We're going to go for the Flare Blitz, as this thing is going to Sucker Punch us. It's not quite enough to get us taken out. Fortunately for us, we're going to go for the Flare Blitz in return. And at Choice Band Max Attack, that will definitely finish the Spiritomb from that range. We take some recoil damage, just barely surviving that. And that is game. So we are going to win that one 1-0 against Christian, but that was a great match, actually. Very close, very competitive, right down to the wire. And, yeah, they really don't get much closer than that. So, just an all-around great game there. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So, that's it, and we'll see you next time.